If you're over 60, what you eat for breakfast tomorrow morning could be silently raising your stroke risk right now. This isn't about avoiding all your favorite foods. This is about knowing which specific items sitting in your kitchen are dramatically increasing your chances of a stroke in the next 5 years. And most doctors never warn you about half of them. A Johns Hopkins neurologist recently reviewed data from over 80,000 seniors and found that 5 common foods are directly linked to a 67% higher stroke risk in people over 60. Not heart disease, not diabetes, stroke, the kind that happens without warning and changes everything in seconds. For decades, doctors told us to watch our cholesterol and cut back on salt. And yes, those things matter. But until researchers started tracking what seniors actually ate in the weeks before their strokes, nobody realized the real culprits hiding in plain sight. These aren't exotic foods. These aren't things you've never heard of. These are items you probably bought at the grocery store this week. Items your friends are eating right now. Items that taste completely harmless but are doing serious damage to your blood vessels every single day. Here are the 5 foods that increase stroke risk after 60 and why your brain can't afford to ignore this. Number 1. Processed deli meats. Turkey, ham, roast beef, salami. If it comes pre-sliced in a package, it's on the list. And before you say you only eat the low-fat versions, let me stop you right there. The fat content isn't the problem. The problem is what's used to preserve that meat and keep it looking fresh for weeks. Processed meats are loaded with sodium nitrites and sodium nitrates. These are preservatives that prevent bacterial growth, but they also do something far more dangerous inside your body. They cause your blood vessels to constrict. They raise your blood pressure, and they increase inflammation in the lining of your arteries. After 60, your arteries are already less flexible than they used to be. Your blood pressure is already harder to control, and your body's ability to flush out these chemicals slows down dramatically. A study published in the European Heart Journal followed over 20,000 people aged 60 and older for more than a decade. Those who ate processed meats more than 4 times a week had a stroke rate nearly 50% higher than those who avoided them. That's not a small difference. That's not a rounding error. That's a coin flip between having a normal retirement and spending your 70s relearning how to speak or walk. But here's the part that makes this even worse. Most people don't realize how much processed meat they're actually eating. A sandwich at lunch, a few slices of deli turkey as a snack, ham in your omelet, pepperoni on your pizza. By the end of the week, you've hit that 4-meal threshold without even trying. And your brain is paying the price every time. But number 2 is even more deceptive. Number 2, pre-made frozen meals. I'm talking about those convenient boxes in the freezer aisle that promise a hot dinner in 5 minutes. The ones marketed as healthy. The ones with pictures of vegetables and grilled chicken on the front. The ones that say low calorie or heart healthy right on the label. Here's the truth. Most frozen meals contain more sodium in a single serving than you should eat in an entire day. We're talking 1 mg 200 to 1 mg 800 milligrams of sodium per meal. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1 mg 500 milligrams per day for seniors. One frozen dinner and you've already blown past that limit before breakfast the next morning. Why does this matter so much after 60? Because sodium doesn't just raise your blood pressure. It also makes your blood thicker. It makes your heart work harder to pump blood to your brain. And when your heart is already aging, when your arteries are already narrowing, that extra strain is exactly what triggers a stroke. Neurologists at the Mayo Clinic analyzed the diets of stroke patients over 60 and found that 78% of them were eating at least 1 frozen meal per day in the month before their stroke. Not because they were lazy, not because they didn't care about their health, but because they believed the labels. They believed the words like wholesome and natural and doctor approved. And here's what makes frozen meals so dangerous compared to other high-sodium foods. It's not just the salt. It's the combination of salt, preservatives, artificial flavors and hidden sugars that work together to damage your blood vessels faster than any single ingredient could on its own. Your body after 60 just can't process that chemical cocktail the way it used to. And every time you microwave one of those meals, you're giving your brain another reason to shut down. But the next one surprises even doctors. Number 3, diet soda. Yes, diet. The one you switched to because you thought you were doing something good for your health. The one with 0 calories and 0 sugar. The one that's supposed to be better than regular soda. Here's what researchers at Boston University discovered. Seniors who drank just 1 diet soda per day had nearly triple the stroke risk compared to those who drank none. Triple. Not 10% more, not 20% more, 3 times the risk. Why? Because of artificial sweeteners, specifically aspartame, sucralose, and acetylsulfame potassium. These chemicals trick your brain into thinking you've consumed sugar, but they don't provide any actual glucose, so your body releases insulin anyway. And when that happens over and over, day after day, it leads to insulin resistance, increased inflammation, and damage to the delicate blood vessels in your brain. But there's something even more dangerous happening. Artificial sweeteners change the bacteria in your gut, and scientists now know that gut health is directly connected to brain health. When your gut bacteria are out of balance, your body produces more inflammatory molecules. These molecules travel through your bloodstream and attack the lining of your arteries. After 60, when your immune system is already weaker, this inflammation goes unchecked, and inflamed arteries are exactly where blood clots form. Blood clots that travel to your brain and cause strokes. The worst part, diet soda is marketed to seniors. It's marketed to diabetics. It's marketed to anyone trying to lose weight or manage their blood sugar. But the research is crystal clear. For people over 60, diet soda is a stroke risk that's hiding behind a health halo. And the more you drink, the more damage you're doing. But number 4 is sitting in your pantry right now. Number 4, white bread and refined grains. This includes white bread, white rice, regular pasta, crackers, pastries, bagels, and anything made with white flour. And before you think this is just about carbs or blood sugar, let me explain what's really happening inside your arteries. When you eat refined grains, your body breaks them down into sugar almost immediately. Your blood sugar spikes. Your pancreas releases a flood of insulin. And here's the problem. That rapid spike in blood sugar damages the endothelium. That's the thin layer of cells lining your blood vessels. After 60, your endothelium doesn't repair itself as quickly as it used to. So every time you eat white bread or white rice, you're creating tiny injuries in your arteries. Over time, these injuries turn into plaques that narrow your arteries, plaques that can break off and block blood flow to your brain. A study in the journal Stroke followed seniors for 8 years and found that those who ate refined grains daily had a 40% higher stroke rate than those who ate whole grains instead. And it wasn't just a little bit more. It was a dramatic, undeniable difference that showed up in brain scans, hospital records, and death certificates. But here's what most people miss. It's not just about switching to whole wheat bread and calling it a day. It's about understanding that your brain after 60 needs steady, slow-release energy. It needs complex carbohydrates that don't spike your blood sugar. It needs foods that keep your arteries calm, not inflamed. And white bread does the exact opposite. It's fast fuel that burns your blood vessels on the way through. And if you think you're safe because you only eat half a sandwich or a small serving, think again. Researchers found that even moderate consumption of refined grains, just 2 servings per day, was enough to significantly raise stroke risk in seniors. 2 servings. That's a sandwich at lunch and a dinner roll at dinner. That's all it takes. But the last one is the most shocking. Number 5, fried foods. This includes French fries, fried chicken, fried fish, onion rings, donuts, fried appetizers, and anything cooked in hot oil. And I'm not just talking about fast food. I'm talking about home-cooked fried foods too, even if you're using olive oil, even if you're frying in an air fryer. Here's why fried foods are so dangerous after 60. When oil is heated to high temperatures, it creates compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These molecules are toxic to your blood vessels. They cause oxidative stress, they increase inflammation, and they make your blood more likely to clot. After 60, your body produces fewer antioxidants to fight off these AGEs, so they build up in your arteries, in your brain, and in your organs. And the more fried food you eat, the faster they accumulate. Cardiologists at the Cleveland Clinic analyzed the eating habits of stroke patients and found that those who ate fried foods more than twice a week had a stroke rate 14% higher with every additional serving per week. That means if you're eating fried foods 4 times a week, your stroke risk isn't just a little higher, it's exponentially higher, and most seniors have no idea. But here's the part that really matters. Fried foods don't just damage your arteries, they also damage your brain directly. The same AGEs that clog your blood vessels also cross into your brain tissue and attack your neurons. This leads to cognitive decline, memory problems, and a brain that's far more vulnerable to stroke. So when you eat fried chicken or French fries, you're not just risking a stroke. You're also accelerating brain aging at the same time. And if you think switching to baked or grilled versions solves the problem, you're half right. Baking and grilling are better. But if you're still using processed oils, seed oils, or reheating the same oil multiple times, you're still creating those dangerous AGEs. The safest option after 60 is to avoid fried foods altogether and choose steaming, boiling, or light sautéing with minimal oil instead. So let's put this all together. Processed deli meats, pre-made frozen meals, diet soda, white bread and refined grains, fried foods. These 5 foods are directly linked to higher stroke risk in people over 60. And the reason they're so dangerous isn't just one ingredient or one chemical. It's the cumulative damage they cause to your blood vessels, your blood pressure, and your brain over time. Now, I know what you're thinking. If I cut out all these foods, what's left to eat? And that's a fair question, but here's the good news. You don't have to go on some extreme diet. You don't have to eat nothing but salads and plain chicken. You just have to make smarter swaps. Instead of deli meat, choose fresh roasted turkey or chicken that you cook yourself. Instead of frozen meals, batch cook simple dinners and freeze your own portions. Instead of diet soda, drink sparkling water with a splash of fruit juice. Instead of white bread, choose whole grain or sourdough. Instead of fried foods, roast or grill with herbs and spices for flavor. These aren't huge changes. These aren't impossible sacrifices. These are small, realistic swaps that protect your brain without making you feel deprived. And the research shows that seniors who make these changes see their stroke risk drop within months, not years, months. But here's the part nobody talks about. It's not just about what you stop eating. It's about what you start eating instead. Foods that actually protect your brain, foods that strengthen your blood vessels, foods that reduce inflammation and keep your blood flowing smoothly. Leafy greens like spinach and kale are packed with nitrates that lower blood pressure naturally. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines contain omega-3s that reduce clotting and inflammation. Berries are loaded with antioxidants that repair damaged blood vessels. Nuts and seeds provide magnesium, which relaxes your arteries. And whole grains give you steady energy without spiking your blood sugar. When you combine avoiding the 5 dangerous foods with adding these protective foods, you're not just lowering your stroke risk. You're actively rebuilding your brain's defenses. You're giving your body the tools it needs to repair years of damage. And you're setting yourself up for a retirement where your mind stays sharp, your body stays strong, and stroke becomes something that happens to other people, not you. And here's the final piece of the puzzle. Timing matters. If you're 62 and you make these changes today, you could reverse a decade of arterial damage by the time you're 65. If you're 70 and you start now, you could still cut your stroke risk in half within 2 years. But if you wait until you're 75 or 80, the damage might already be too severe to fully reverse. Your window to protect your brain is right now. Not next month, not after the holidays, now. So take a look at your kitchen. Check your fridge, check your freezer, check your pantry. How many of these 5 foods are sitting there right now? And more importantly, how many of them are you planning to eat this week? Because every meal is a choice. Every snack is a decision. And after 60, those choices don't just affect how you feel today. They affect whether you'll be independent, healthy, and mentally sharp 5 years from now, or whether you'll be one of the 800,000 Americans who has a stroke this year. Your brain is counting on you to make the right call, and now you know exactly which foods to avoid and why.